$7. You're gonna see the magic right now. Hey guys, welcome again. Actually, I had forgotten to put a recap in the title, so I just went ahead and did the recap, right? So again, welcome, and let's do the recap really quick. We had a solid day. We had an amazingly solid day. There were a lot more longs than we thought. It ran like 500%, and from 4:30 area, we just kept going long at it, and several times. So it went between 4 and 8. So you think 4 and 9. So you think you made $5, but we made $10. I'll show you how we did this $10 trick. So I'm going to jump on that ticket itself, right? So here we go. Guys, again, this is Raj here with HammerXTraders. If you want to join us live, we are there every morning, almost every morning. Sometimes, like if I'm busy, not around or starting late, I usually start at 8 and finish off at 9:10, and then we start again at 9:30. So for 9:30 and beyond, you need to be in our room. This one, you just need to be on our social media. I'll give you some good trades. Today, pre-market didn't look that attractive, so I think it was 2 or 3 wins. So let's walk through it really quick. So when I came in right at 8 o'clock, you guys can review the video there. You can rewind it from this morning at 8 a.m. So we went short, we made our money. Then the news was long, and this volume was just crazy. It was already like 34 million, something like that, by 9 o'clock. So decided to go long. Went long at 380 something, 352 was the average, 351 was the average, and got stopped out. Actually went below like almost $3, and then when it popped up to 339, 340, I got out, took 11 cents loss. So this was a minor loss. Played it pretty well. Then another long, didn't work, 9 o'clock, whatever. After that, I quit. So then finally, when the market opens, we go long right here. 1 win, 2 win, 3 win, 4 win, 5 win. So we long here. Then we squeeze in a little bit of a short right at that point right here. There was one short that we did. Then again, we try to go short right here, make our average, whatever. This is a long right here from here to here, by the way. So we went short here again. We did okay, because that's an area like 781 was the highest, and it was getting to a point where we were feeling like it is going to be short. We tried one more short, we lost on it. So we had a loss here, we had a loss here. But meantime, take a look, long, again, long. So every time this is a long, we take profit. So you're long right here, take a profit. Dips in, take long. So let me walk you through how KIDZ did this 2 days in a row, and particularly on Thursday. So it would go up. It was a $6 ticket as well, $6 to $7 ticket. It would jump up on one candle. It'd be like a dull, like this right here, dull, in. So we decided we're just gonna pick up the absolute bottom after it drops. So the big drop would happen at $1.60. Then it would dip, slow down, boom. It would just take off. Look at it. This is takeoff. Every time you're going to see this takeoff, that's exactly what is happening. Takeoff. Right here. Takeoff. Big takeoff. So we realize this is the same pattern, same people, same 1.52 million is a breakout candle. And now they're just targeting 10. Even though we were like looking for 10 never happened. But our job is not to sit from 5 to 10. Let me be honest with you, because that is 100%, right? $5 to $10 is 100%. And even if you take $5 to $9 or $8.40 on a long, that is 80%. But that's not how we trade. HammerXTraders trades differently. Anytime we get a 10% or more profit, so first cut 10%, second cut 17%, or cover. So cover is for short and sell is for long, right? So every time we see 10% profit, we just take it. So every time it was hitting 10% and then 17%, 10% and 18%, 10%, 18%. So accumulation is somewhere like around 12 to 13% on every single move. And then we rate. So Why not? If you are good at this right here, if you're good at these ins and outs, we practice this. We've been practicing this for over 4 years, guys. Since 2020, we've been practicing this range. And now we are so good at it. We had a new member join in this morning. He did it 9 times. We have another member who joined in, hasn't seen a winning, and I think I'll show you that in a little bit. She had, gala, like five times she had a green win. So anyway, coming back to it, so 14 long position, guys. There was 2 stop losses. There were 2 short positions. So 1 short was a win, 1 long was a loss, and 1 short was a loss. So altogether, out of 16 plays, we had a 14 win. And guess what? We let it go. Right when this came up, quickly we got this 630, 633. I was actually trying to get 610. Couldn't even get 610. So I had to move it up. So 633 is where I got in. It looks like at the bottom, but it was 3 cents from the bottom. It went to 623, I believe, and I got in at 633 and sold it at 715 for 13% at the very end after hour. I was hoping it would do some damage, but then the volume never came and they never tried 10. I think that they have game for 1 more day. They will dip to 550, 560. From 560, if they do 781, they're going to go back to 10. It's going to be another long tomorrow. But we have to wait for the dip. We have to wait for the dip to around 540s. But listen to this. If it breaks 420, this is gone. Having said that, here's what the news was on GPUS. GPUS market cap is 6 million. They had their earnings and they said they had a revenue of 25 million. That is 5 times more than their market cap. Now, 2025, they're projecting to have 125 million as profit. $6 million company projecting to have $6 million market cap, projecting to have 125 million, and has a 200 million volume, and you're going to go short it? Nah, you don't do that. Seriously, you don't. So again, I'll walk you through, the entire day. Let me see if I can find our Discord really quick. And you can see this live right here. Look at this. This is our trading floor. And I'm going to show it to you how many times we were just simply long. Look at this. This is simply long, guys. This is simply long. 20% at 842. What time was it? 2:30. Take a look. Another time. 11% at 789. What time was it? 2. Actually, it was 2:20. Okay. That wasn't the only trade we were doing. We were doing plenty of trades. Here's 781, another one. What time was that? 2:10. So we had plenty of trades going. Meantime, we kept taking this trade. Look at this. What happened? The same trade at 12:45. This is GPUS, 9%. So we kept repeating this pattern, guys. We would get in at 707, 710. We'll start selling at 789 or 90 and sell it to 844. And would still have like 300-400 shares out of 3,000 shares. So every time we're making $3,000 or $2,200 on a 3,000 shares. So we were investing about $24,000 at 7. So you multiply 3,000 shares or 4,000 shares, 24,000 equity value, and you're making $3,000 every freaking time for 14% gain. It was a gain after gain. So this was, again, look at this. By the time this was an average of 723. Next one, I'll show you my average 23. You're going to see an average of somewhere around 707. Look at this, 707. So we kept buying every time we were long. Look at this right here. Another one right around 12:45. We were long, we were showing. I was just sharing with the room how we were taking this profit. Okay. Look at this. This is just going long, right at 10 o'clock. Look at this. It was just doing long. Look at that. What is the average at 11:25, guys? 7:29. Same ticket. This is 11 o'clock, guys. This is 11 o'clock. Look at this. Okay. Long, 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 and dip. And then we bought this more and then long again. Okay. Which went to 9. So there was no secret. There was no secret, guys. We were just long. And then there was a Z car, which we were short. Okay. So we were making money in several tickets. Again, I'm just recapping how we did our longs. Now we're going to talk about back over here. So again, this was our star play of the day, GPUS, fabulously long. You can see there was one short, we lost on it. One short, we won. One long, we lost on it. We started long here. Looked like it was going to stop, and it did. I don't know why it went that far, but hey, we don't control the stock market. We just follow what happens right here. The volume was just fading, so we had to stop out. Okay, so let's start with the ticket. AIFF went long, first prize right here. Just kept adding, finally sold it. Now, this one is actually short, my bad. This is not too long. This is actually another short, my bad. This is a short, and then we made money the short way. So there was a long and a short. This was not a too long. That's an error, but when I was preparing this chart, my bad, apologize. So you saw this one, GPUS. Look at this IMMP, holding some still very small size, but good size was already out, about 8%. IMMP. IVF, look at this. IVF got in a little early, made my average, cut my average, and then look at this, 23%. So when it gets to 18%, this is where our profit is. IVF, 17% gain, okay? Got in a little early at 265, but 280 was the number. So 267, 271 was our average area, and finally got my average to 271, a little bit oversized. So first thing, you consolidate, you cut, and then you take your profit. Look at this, JCSC A+, short, add more, short, profit, profit. Short, profit, profit. This is an A+. JCSC was always an A+, guys. This is 40% gain right there. I'll put it up so you guys can see it better here. This was another nice one. This was a long from this morning in pre-market. You can rewind it. I was long. I could have shorted it as well. 147 was the number. I just missed it. Right at the open, I was probably too tied up with 2 or 4 trades or whatever. I just didn't take the short. I went the long. I should have taken a short right at 147. Would have been a tremendous 30% or 40% short right there. I just missed it. But long good enough, 15%. I would have made more money on a short though, honestly. This is an earnings play, guys. PLTR. I'm just gonna let you know, I'm holding this one. I'm holding a decent size too, like almost 60, 65K equity in this one. Overnight, I've taken some profit. I'm thinking that this would get into the 90s within a day or so. Maybe tomorrow. We'll follow it up. PLTR is my overnight short. And so is HIMS. Only did 2 earnings and both of them are short. STEC is another one that did not pay me properly. So it's still holding and holding and holding. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I usually like to get out, but again, this is PLTR. Like I said, I am holding this short. And there's HIMS that I am holding my short position as well. I've not covered anything. It went as low as 7% at 38. I should have taken some profit, but it's a couple of dollars from here. Tomorrow, I mean, this one is a little difficult to see which way it's going to roll. HIMS is generally like a $18 stock at about 45, 50. It's slightly overweighted, and about 65, it's absolutely overweight, this HIMS. Z-Car was a beauty, guys. 10%, 10%, 10%. So we started that right around 11 something. We got paid at 980. We needed a dollar something, $1.20. We got it, made 10%. Again, entered. This time entry was 1230. We did good. The last one I could have done a little bit better. This was a much smaller size, very small size at Z-Car. I was looking for 1420, 1430. So this was not a good size. This was a good size. This was a good size. This was not. But this paid the most. It says 21%. I mean, obviously I took it because I had a small size, so I had to make up for the size. So like when you have a bigger size, you can take profit at 10%, 11%. But when you have a smaller size, you got to extend that to make the similar kind of money. So I waited and I got it. So anyway, that's it. Had a fabulous day. Had only 2 losses. Both of them happened to be in GPUS. There was no other losses, period, all day. So let's walk you through how we did in our room, right? So we're going to talk about, let's see. Oh, this was way too in the morning, right? So this is for you guys. I'm just telling you guys how we do this, but we do this to motivate our team, like how everybody's doing, right? We take a stock of the situation, like who is in red, green, if anybody's struggling. So look at this. By 402, this is 5. So 5-2, 3-0, 22, 6-2, 7-2. So the 2 losses happen in one play. Okay, 5-1, 5-1, 8-2. Both of the losses like happen on GPU, right there, GPUS. But 8 wins, 5-2 again. List goes on. I think it just overall, I think the average win in the room was like 7 or 6. 6 wins and 2 losses. Here we go, 6-2. This is pretty ideal right there. 6-2 was pretty ideal. 7 win was, I think 7-2 is more like how we ended up. And those 2 losses were very small, guys. I had a 351 average. One loss that I did on GPU was 351 long. I added a 310, bailed out at 339. My average was 351. I started with 370 plus, okay? So my average was 51. So I gave them exactly 11 cents at that point. So it wasn't a big loss, okay? Look at that, 7-2, 8 and 2. So average is 8. By the time we finished it, this was at 230, right? So average in the room was 8 plus. And then I think we added 2 more. So you can literally do, average is 9-2. 9-2 by the end of the day in the room. So that's pretty good. And the best part about it is that we make about 10%. All these members will tell you that we make 10% on every single play. Yes, sizing can be off, sizing can be different, but we make 10%. All right. So that was that. Pretty good day. I had a massive green day, so you can't even compare us. A lot of people ask me like, so, how much you make? Does it matter? You got to execute. If I tell you I made this much, is it going to matter to you? Yes, it's going to give you confidence, but I'm walking you through every single trade, and our members will tell you that. So I'll just walk you through just one quick message over here. So this is Jennifer who joined us today, okay? And she had 2 greens on GPU, 1 green on Z-Car, and 1 red on IVF. She misunderstood IVF was a short. She went long. I told her, nope, get out. And that was her only loss, okay? That was her only loss. Then we had another member who's officially trading today for the first time in the money account. And he probably had 8 wins or 9 wins or something like that. He did 9 longs, 8-9 longs, so probably 10 wins and 2 losses. That was his first day. We had 2 members starting today. So it was really fabulous, guys. Again, you want to trade with the best, and you want to trade in a group that is consistently, like, looks after each member. Now, don't come do BS, okay? Just don't. Okay, just trade what we're trading. Now, education part of it is phenomenal. I will spend time after time after time to tell you how we do this. Okay, and each member will tell you we go into the details even while the trade is happening. We'll read out what is happening in the volume bar. Where are the levels? Is it rejecting here? Is it coming where we're going to get our money? Again, why are we so successful with our system? Because we mitigate our risk. We don't look for 30%, 40% gain. We do not. We make that 30% gain. So if you saw what happened with this trade over here, did it do 30%? This is 21%, guys, from a very small size here. But we made this a 32% because we did 10% on solid, 14% solid, that's 24, and this is 17, so that's another 10%. Okay, we just made it happen 30% without taking too much risk. You have to know how to do this. We've been doing this for a very long time. So again, this is not the only example I can show it to you. This is another one. Why do we do this? Because we are not looking for this 25% profit right here. We could have waited. We could have made probably 25% altogether, but why not make 40%? We have a stop loss over here as well, guys. We on the top, we have a stop loss areas. We know where we're going to stop out. So if you're wondering JCSC where the stop was, 188. What was the average we were going to make when we were adding and cutting? 175. So we won from 170 right here. Average was 168. This one is 172 average. You're nearly full size at 175. Give them freaking a stop at 188. But is the stop at the end of the world? No, it's not. I'll tackle that at 220, 225. 225 to 198, I will get it. If it takes a stop and I make my average 235 and I give them 258 out, it's fine. I just lost 20%, 10% here and 10% from 235 average to 258. Now, meantime, what is my percentage of making my 10%? You know what the percentage or odds are? 93%. Time and again, every single trade we do track it. 93%. So that's a redundant stuff, guys. Had this paid it and come back over here, we would have taken it again. It didn't. That's fine. Make our 10%. Be happy. 17%. Be happy with it. You know, this one again, we waiting, hasn't given us out now 10%. I was looking for a little more volatility up here. I just missed the entry a little bit. Had I gotten probably 270 to 240 was the target because that's 30 cents. That's 10%. I just missed it. Again, if you go see this area long, if you draw this line right here where the red line is, which is exactly we were going long at 707, 695. So if you take this area right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you every time, if this thing got from $7 to $7.85, you know what that is? 12%. How many times would it do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and possibly 6 times. If you just played that way, no ads and no cuts. If you just got in at 7 and sold it at 7.85, you just made 85 cents, 12%, 6 times between 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And stock is still hanging around 7, right? And you made yourself 80 cents times 6 or 5. You know what that is, right? $4. Okay, that's $4. So that's how we do it. Again, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Just wanted to recap. You can join. Please like our profiles, share with your friends. People who are struggling, more than welcome to join us. People who want to trade with us, Trading alone is not fun. If you want to trade with us, please join. Again, head to our website, get to HammerXTraders.com. There's a forum, there's a trial. You can join in, no cost to you. But be serious. When you sign up, be serious, okay? Thanks a lot, guys. I will take off. Have a good night. Bye.